This guy's always late. Why can't he just be on time? Oh, shit. Here we go. Are y'all ready for another one? Another one. Another one. Welcome back to the Den of Nerds. I am Josh, and we have a fantastic show for you today. The theme of today's show is WTF. It stands for What the French, and replace French with fuck. I don't know. I was gonna maybe try not to swear, but I already fucked it up. So the theme of today is WTF. WTF. We have to talk about Minecraft, which, as far as I'm concerned, is one gigantic WTF. I don't understand it, but we're going to break it down. The numbers are ridiculous. I'm confused. It's wild. Got some notes here. The demographics. The money it made. The memes. What Marvel should think. And why James Gunn is probably the most furious person in the world about Minecraft's success. I'll explain. Next up, Doctor Doom. WTF. Lots of WTF with Doctor Doom. We got the first official look at Doctor Doom, possibly through an invitation sent out for RDJ's birthday party, possibly through some photos that were taken at his birthday party. He's got a new look. Some people are really fucking concerned. What does it mean? We're going to explain it all. WTF. And then finally, maybe the biggest WTF ever, the one that's really stupid and awkward, and of course it's Star Wars. And this has to do with a major controversy coming to Andor season 2. Oh boy, so excited to talk about that one. WTF, Star Wars, and Kathleen Kennedy. So we'll get into all of that and more. There's a little bit of Daredevil stuff I wanted to talk about, a little bit of Thunderbolts stuff. Of course, Thunderbolts tickets just went on sale. They did release a couple of cool trailers. There was a really cool international one. And then a version of that also was released officially today for, I guess, North America. What the hell's the difference? You know, I guess late last night they did do the international one because it was morning in some other places, I guess. I don't know how all that works. But late last night there was an international trailer. Seems like it was pretty much the same trailer that got released today. It's all to celebrate the movie, to get people to buy tickets. So we're going to find out rather quickly here. What do the ticket sales look like for Thunderbolts? What's going on, Marvel? What's the deal? So, jam-packed show for you today. This show's jam-packed, brother. I'll tell you what. Hope you guys had a good weekend. I had a fantastic weekend, mostly because I got to play Warhammer last night. Let's go! We brought the dub home. Let's go for the Emperor. But yeah, no, I had a pretty chill weekend, other than yesterday when I found out about the Andor stuff. It did kind of, well, it really upset me, you know, just to be honest with you. It really upset me, and I got stuck on it because I'm ADHD, so that wasn't very fun. But I went and had a strenuous workout, man. I just try to just imagine that I was getting strong to be the hero I needed to be to save Star Wars. So after a good workout and a 5-hour plus Warhammer game last night, I'm feeling very refreshed, feeling very good. So we'll tackle the day with focus, good intentions, and nuance as always. But my God, there's some weird stuff going on. The Star Wars stuff is so weird to me. I know not everybody agrees with the way I see it. I think it's disgusting. So I'm going to try not to get too upset. We'll keep it light. But I do think it's worth talking about. So we will get into that later on. Hope you guys are doing good. As far as show notes are concerned this week, tomorrow night we will be having the watch party for Daredevil Born Again Season 1, Episode, what is it, 8? I think it's 8. Really, really interesting stuff going on here. In fact, let me show you something here, because obviously Daredevil Born Again has, I mean, I think it's obviously not been that great, but you could at least say that it's divided audiences, maybe underperformed compared to what Disney was looking for. And I want to show you this. I find it to be so fascinating. Check this out. This is an interview.
Which episode for everybody to see?
Which episodes are you excited for people to see?
There's a couple.
Yeah.
but I would say
maybe 8. There's something iconic about 8.
The 8 is amazing. Yeah. But also 9 is pretty tricky.
Yeah.
I would say.
So I find this so funny because what I said in this tweet was even they know it's the only good shit at the end. And that's kind of the vibe. That's kind of the feeling that I have with Daredevil Born Again. Unfortunately, I think we were a little bamboozled, and I do not think the show was really remade. But these last 2 episodes are new. So these last 2 episodes are kind of maybe what we thought the whole show was going to be. I'm not sure. What I'm trying to say is we're going to sit down tomorrow night, and we're going to watch Daredevil together. Okay, we'll start the stream up at 8:30. Episode drops at 9. We'll watch the episode. I have a feeling it's going to be a really good episode because it's totally different and like actually not the old bad shitty version of the show recycled. So take the good with the bad, man. That's what I say. I've been pretty critical of Daredevil. We're going to talk about the numbers for Daredevil later on in the show. They were confirmed with Nielsen, and they're really bad. So Marvel's doesn't need me to necessarily just continue to shit on them. They should be living in the reality of knowing how bad things are going. But as I said, we'll take the good with the bad. And I do think we're going to get pretty good episodes in episode 8 and in episode 9. So I'm excited for that. I'll see you guys tomorrow evening for that. Wednesday, I kind of feel like we got to do more gaming. I kind of feel like we have to do more Marvel Rivals Wednesday night. So as long as you guys are okay with that, I'd like to do some more Marvel Rivals Wednesday night. And that'll be for the members, right? So the paying members here, the paying members on Twitch will be live 7:30 Wednesday night. Maybe we'll kick it, shoot the shit for a little bit, and then we'll play some Marvel Rivals together, and we'll get into the you guys playing against each other and me commentating. I love commentating the games with the Nerd Avengers, man. It helps me practice because I'm trying to potentially get into casting for esports and specifically for Marvel Rivals. And it's also just fun, man. It's fun to be like, oh my goodness, here's Kendall facing off against Cool Bear, and you know what I mean? Like, dude, these you guys are my guys. You know what I mean? Like, you're my guys. So it's fun to watch the community try to kill each other in a video game, literally. So that'll be cool. We'll do that Wednesday night. And then as far as that, guys, I don't have any other show notes for you. I'm going to be very busy as always. Ton of video, ton of content coming out. But yeah, that's sort of the show notes, the scheduled thing for you. All right. Shall we begin? Should we get into the WTF? Should we get in to the WTF of this whole situation? And we have to begin with Minecraft. Dude, guys, please let me know how many of you went and saw Minecraft this weekend. I need to know. Throw a 1 into the chat. If you're listening on the podcast, drop a comment. They have comments on the podcast. I don't know if you know that. Don't do it while you're driving or whatever, but like, I need to know how many of you guys went and saw the Minecraft movie. I see a lot of ones, not a ton of ones, but like, we definitely had people in the community that went and saw it. Not a ton though. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. Whoa, that's not the right screen. So check this out. Let's talk about this, man. How many of you guys are excited to talk about this Minecraft thing? This is blowing my mind, okay? So Minecraft opened with 301 million worldwide. I'm pretty sure that's the biggest opening of the year, right? I'm pretty sure. It made 157 domestic. A biggest 3-day opening weekend ever for a video game movie. The budget was $150 million. Guys, Captain America Brave New World has been in the movie theater for 8 weeks, 2 months, with basically no competition. And it hasn't even got, I think it's just over 400 million, maybe? This movie almost made that 300 million in 3 days. What the fuck? This is absurd. Now, listen to this. This blew my mind. I did get some numbers from Grace Randolph's movie math. You know, she always does movie math. It was a good episode. Some of the things she talked about blew my mind, so I wanted to highlight them. Guys, check out these age demos. This is absurd. This is the real benchmark of the fall of society. I'm going to be completely honest. We're fucked. And here's why. 43 percent of the audience was 18 to 24-year-olds. 43. 35% of the audience was 13 to 17-year-olds. Let me do the math there. That's 78% of the audience. Pretty much 80% for those of you keeping score at home. Younger than 24 years old. You know what I like about people younger than 24 years old? Literally nothing. Other than my children. Nothing. You're horrible. You're the worst generation ever. You absolutely suck. So my question to you is, why did y'all show up for this fucking slop? I don't understand it. Look, I'm trying to be chill here, okay? But it's WTFs, man. It's WTF. I don't understand it. Chicken jockey? What the fuck is that? Okay, so hang on. Let me try to be a little bit more constructive here, okay? What I can't understand, what I can't figure out is this movie the confluence of brilliance, or did this movie get lucky? Because what it appears to me, and I'm on the outside, I'm way on the outside looking in on this one, okay? And I've seen, and I'm sure you all saw it, the theater thing went nuts. So people in the movie theaters were like being rowdy. They were like on each other. They were chicken jockeying each other. They were bouncing on it. I don't know what the kids do these days, but they were doing it, and they were doing it in front of everybody in the movie theater. And I think this created a situation. Do you remember when the what's the stupid Minions? Do you remember when the Minions movie came out? And you had all of these people that, again, let me see the demos here. Worst generation ever. Do you remember when all of those people went out in suits for the Minions movie? So it appears that Minecraft has tapped into that same kind of energy. You know, TikTok trend, social media trend, whatever. And so it was like an experience and a meme to be able to go enjoy this film. Like that was a big part of the draw, right? And for me, I can't quite figure out, like, dude, was this, because I've seen all different kinds of takes, because that's what happens in the world. You know, something like Minecraft makes $300 million when Captain America takes fucking 2 months to get to barely 400. And yeah, we got to sit back and ask a couple of questions. How did we get here? And everybody wants to come up with a take. Everybody wants to see it for what it is and, give some analysis, etc., etc. Some people are saying this movie is like this passion project that was made exactly for the fans of that franchise. And I don't know, because I've not played Warhammer. Maybe you've pieced that together here, you know? I like my little plastic army men on an actual physical tabletop. I'm a boomer, so I'm not in the obviously I play video games. We just talked about Marvel Rivals, but I'm just saying I never got into Minecraft. You know, I never really did. And so I guess I wonder. I would not be able to know this. Only fans of the franchise would be able to know this. Is this an example of them just making a movie for that core audience, and that core audience really respecting it, enjoying it, feeling catered to? Because of course it feels like that's a part of the takeaway, right? Like it feels obvious. What has Marvel not been doing? Giving the fans what they want, frankly. If they did, more fans would show up. So Marvel's not giving fans what they want, and it seems like Minecraft out of nowhere giving fans what they want. Now, again, I'm putting a whole grain of salt on this whole thing because I don't know what the takeaways are. I don't know exactly what's going on here, right? I think it's fair to say that if you look at a lot of the very, very popular franchise movies that have come out over the past couple of years, so Super Mario Brothers, Barbie, Minecraft, Inside Out 2, which is, it's a Disney franchise, but still, like, you look at these things, it does feel like there's a pattern of two main important things happening here. Number one, it's just for a specific kind of fan. And the thing that's really interesting about video games, sort of been this weird secret for years, actually since the mid-90s. The video game industry, by dollars, has been larger than the movie industry for over 20 years, right? I think, and I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think it's something like 10 times bigger. That's not a small amount. Like, that's a lot bigger. Now, what that means is that you can technically get a smaller portion. So let's talk about comic book fans. Maybe 500,000 comic book fans reading every month, which is, I mean, that's really small, guys. Like, that's a really small amount of people. It's probably far less. It's probably more like 200,000-300,000. But comics are kind of killing, and you throw manga in there. I don't know. 500,000 people a month, right? You have to get an insane portion of that fan base to show up to your movies for that to make an impact. And remember, the reason the studios decided to do comic book stuff was because it had a built-in audience and brand awareness. But the thing about video games is you need a much smaller percentage of that overall pie. Like the people that played Minecraft, which appears to be like everybody under the age of 24, right? You grab up a much smaller percentage of that group, and it's bigger than the huge chunk of comic book fans. And I do think video games have been much more relevant in the past 30 years than comics have. Frankly, video games are huge. They move the needle in pop culture, the zeitgeist, all of it, right? I mean, a lot of people are predicting that video games will be the next big thing. They will be bigger than comic book movies, and that's possible. They are certainly on a really hot streak. The Last of Us, Fallout, Minecraft, Super Mario Brothers. I'm really looking forward to the Zelda movie. That, for me, I'm like, wow, that has a chance to, I mean, that's really, really crazy, right? So these are all of those conversations I think are important and all at play here. And I don't know how it all exactly fits together, but one thing is super obvious. This was a smash hit that blew away expectations. Now, going back to the meme aspect of this, okay? I think this, like, because obviously, as a super big fan of the MCU, I see the Minecraft movie, and I'll be real, my initial reaction was I hated it. Now, I've backed off a little bit because you guys were so, like, on Discord, like, some of y'all were so into Minecraft. I was like, I had no idea. I just thought of it as the new popular thing, and I wanted to be grumpy about it. But everybody's getting all butthurt because I'm talking shit on Minecraft, okay? So, point is, I didn't like it. Why? Because it looks like fucking slop to me. It looks like the same shit that everybody's been dogging on Marvel for years. Like, legitimately. Marvel, I mean, look, Marvel's definitely been going through it. We're super critical over here as well. There's been a lot of Marvel projects that, like, I do not think deserve the level of, like, hatred, animosity, and shit-talking that they get. Especially when, like, Chicken Jockey is making $300 million. Like, I frankly, and I bet Kevin Feige, I shared a meme on Twitter. I bet Kevin Feige, after seeing this box office result, man, I bet he was like that. Man, I don't think he had a good weekend. You know? And he's like, how the fuck is Jack Black selling more toys than the Red Hulk? You know what I mean? Like, and I'd be shitting my pants and freaking out too. This is nuts, dude. But it's their responsibility to try to look at this situation and not just be jealous and not just be upset, but try to have a takeaway. They have to try to analyze this. And I think one of the main things is, dude, make it fun, make it for the fans, and make it an experience. I mean, this rings very similar to Deadpool and Wolverine, which I continue to say is not even really a good movie, but it was an incredible experience. It was an incredible theater experience. Same thing with No Way Home. And so maybe you're reading between the lines here. It's another reason why so many people are so fucking mad about Minecraft is because Hollywood is full of copycats, and it feels like total slop is back on the menu, boys. So do you see what I mean? Like, these are the conflicting thoughts, the conflicting ideas that I have about this thing. But I do think Marvel ultimately needs to take away that they should probably lean more in the direction of fan service, of creating an experience. Goddamn, bro, there's no way you should be getting your ass kicked by Chicken Jockey. I'm losing my mind over here. Last thought on this WTF that is the Minecraft movie. Do you know who's the most mad right now about this? You would think it's Kevin Feige. It's not. Do you know who is the most mad about this shit right here? You? No. It's James Gunn. You know, friend of the channel. James Gunn. And you might be like, why? I don't understand. So, if you've been following along with the reports, David Zaslav, about this close to firing DeLuca and Abdi. And who can blame him? You know, they kind of suck. And there's been a lot of bombs. Warner Brothers, woo, not looking good over there, okay? James was this close to potentially being in charge of all of DC films, brother. And that is a shot. According to multiple reports, Zazie was considering bringing Peter Safran and James from DC Studios to like all of Warner Brothers Television. And DeLuca and Abdi just made Minecraft into potentially a global phenomenon. I mean, what a world, man. You think you can't write this shit, man. Like, this simulation is wild. The last 4 to 5 years, my God. Insane. So, can you believe that they're literally, like, guys, we're talking about articles in the Hollywood trades. It doesn't get any closer than that. They're probably filling out applications. It doesn't get any closer than that. Zaslav's leaking in the press that he's mad at them. Guys, this is so funny. This is hilarious. So right now, somewhere in the world, Zaslav's cracking a Diet Coke, looking at the Minecraft numbers, and it probably moved in his pants. You know what I mean? So, like, there's going to be a whole... This could change things. The fucking Minecraft chicken jockey slop might change things. Oh, man. Oh, man. I don't know, guys. I don't know how many of these shows I got left in me. Okay? It's beginning to be a bit too much. Unbelievable times. Unbelievable times. Okay. You don't understand how popular Minecraft was around the world. That's true. Jules, that's obviously true. I obviously don't. I guess I'll have to get educated. Should I go see Minecraft now? I can't even believe I'm asking this question. Should I go see Minecraft now? Chat, just be honest with me here, okay? Will I have a good time if I watch Minecraft, or am I going to be like the Homelander meme the entire time? Remember, I'm an old guy. I don't look as old as I am. I'm old. Wow, the chat's flying with opinions. Okay. Anyway, that's the take on Minecraft. I have no idea what's going on. Everything's upside down. Crazy times. You want to talk about something even more crazy? I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but Robert Downey Jr. is coming back to the MCU. Except he's not coming back as Iron Man. He's coming back as Dr. Doom. And the truth about Dr. Doom is we're all really curious about how this is going to go down. So any and every time something comes out, a little photo, a little blurb, an interview, whatever, a leak, we talk about it. Well, we kind of got a couple of pretty crazy things over the weekend, guys. Maybe you saw this, maybe you didn't. So this is a photo here. I made this in Photoshop. I worked really hard on this. Hope the AI doesn't take my job. Check this out. You've got a comic book panel on the left. That's Victor Von Doom with his face fixed. This is post Secret Wars. I believe this is from the Bendis infamous Iron Man run. Okay. On the right side of the panel, you have Sir Robert Downey Jr. looking like Walter Goggins. My God, that's a big forehead. And if you look at the hairstyle, okay, it is specifically and obviously totally different than what he had as Tony Stark. Okay? And many said this is probably his look for Doctor Doom. Now, I want to show you this. This photo, what is this? Well, this is an invitation to Robert Downey Jr.'s 60th birthday party. So Robert Downey Jr. went to a Kinko's and printed out this shit and sent it around to people. Now, here's the thing. This looks bad. This looks so fucking bad, okay? So, let's talk about it. If you're listening on the podcast, reminder, you can actually view the video version of the podcast through Spotify. It doesn't go up right away. It's usually a couple hours later. But if you're listening to this on a podcast, you can go watch what I'm talking about here on Spotify. Now, what am I looking at for those of you too lazy to switch over? I'm looking at a comic book inspired image of Doctor Doom. It's got all this like zipatone, weird, nostalgic looking stuff. And the thing that's weird about it is this version of Doctor Doom's wearing a purple cape with fur. He's got that curly hair that we literally just saw Downey have. A weird golden looking mask, almost like a Man in the Iron Mask thing, almost like an Iron Man look there. And he's in a tracksuit like the Bro Gang from Hawkeye. Now, there's some actual Doctor Dooms, probably Doombots, on the bottom of the image here in top hats. But this image sparked a lot of, concern. This came out on the internet before the photos that I showed you just a minute ago with his actual hairstyle. Please, for the love of God, Marvel, do not make this the actual look for Doctor Doom. And I don't think it is. I mean, chat, what do you think? There's no way, right? Like, there's no way. There's like no way this is the actual look for Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom. Here's the unfortunate thing, though. The hair is the same. The hair is the same. So I don't think there's a 0% chance this is what they're gonna do. Which is like, what? But let me talk about what I think is going on here. Okay, I'll give you a little copium here. I think this is probably just some wild invitation, potentially a crazy look for Doctor Doom that is either potentially in part of the movie or just something that Downey thought was really cool here. And he wanted to put this on his invitation. And if it's, maybe we could take comfort in the fact that there's some actual Doctor Dooms on here. Like there's the Doctor Doom in the top. There's the Doctor Doom at the bottom. We have the concept art, which shows a more traditional looking Doctor Doom, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a lot of reasons to feel that this is not what they are doing. I think it's probably just an invitation thing. Now, when it comes to the hair, I do believe this is the look for Victor Von Doom. And frankly, when I posted this, like, a lot of people were like, wait, what? What about his mask and costume? And I'm like, holy shit, listen. Of course, there are times in comics where Doctor Doom does not take the armor off at all. And I believe Brubaker sort of retconned some stuff to say that, like, the armor doesn't come off. But even way before that, like, there's a John Byrne issue, 258, I believe, of the Fantastic Four, where you're doing a day in the life with Victor, and he's taking the suit off and wash, getting washed and everything in Latveria. Point is, like, it was always obvious to me that Doctor Doom was going to take the mask off for a good bit of these films. I mean, I don't think you pay RDJ $100 million. He looks a lot like Iron Man. That's intentional. They're going to actually use that in the story. You don't pay him $100 million to, like, hide his face the whole time. That would be ridiculous. So I would imagine that, like in the infamous Iron Man run, or potentially even all the way back into like the John Byrne version of this character, he will be able to take his armor off. In fact, I'll go out on a limb here. I bet it's nanotech. I'm going to be real. I bet it's nanotech. I can't actually imagine it not being nanotech, but we'll see. We'll see. So I would imagine this face with that haircut, the curls, everything, I think that is Victor Von Doom. And I think you will see that exact face with the armor on, potentially without the armor on. I think that's what you're looking at here, okay? And I like it. I mean, he looks like Tony, but different, you know? I think that's good because you want him to look close enough to Tony that he can pretend to be Tony and pretend to be a Tony variant perhaps and trick people. You want him to look enough like Tony that it evokes a reaction from the audience. It evokes a reaction from the other characters. You definitely want that. But he also has to look distinct enough that when you have a scene with the two of them together, which you will have, you need them to be distinct enough that they look like different characters, that they have a different feeling. So this is just one more part of the process of following along with this film. All of the speculation, the breakdowns, the leaks, the rumors, all of it. I personally believe this is your Victor Von Doom. It means the armor will come off and on. And I don't think, and I hope, I really hope, this is not the actual look here. I really, really, really hope that's not the look for Doctor Doom. So, there you have it. That's the bits as far as Doctor Doom. I would imagine we'll get into a lot of this in the Q&A section of today's video. I'm sure you guys have some thoughts. I'm sure you have some comments. I'm sure you have some concerns. So we'll get into that in a bit. Okay. Should we talk just a little bit about Star Wars? And then I've got two other sort of rapid fire bits of news here, and then we'll get into Q&A, okay? So, Star Wars. I don't know exactly how to say this. I mean, I made a video yesterday, and I didn't even monetize that video, by the way. Which the person that told me about this was like, why didn't you monetize the video? I was like, because I'm virtuous. No, I just didn't feel right, man, because the subject matter is so weird, right? So, part of what makes this hard to talk about is it's a very uncomfortable, very mature, personal issue. But also, it's literally a word and a concept that's so controversial, you can't even say it on YouTube. I made this point in the video yesterday. You can't even say this word. It rhymes with grape. You cannot say it on YouTube or you'll get... bad things will happen to you if you say it. And it's a version of SA. It's, this horrible, horrible thing that somebody can do to another person. And, I think everybody knows what it is, right? I don't think maybe there's like one or two that like, I have no idea what he's talking about. But I think a lot of you know. And so basically what happened, guys, was I had a source reach out to me and say, this is in Andor. I don't know how I feel about this. Kind of feels icky. What do you think? And I was like, oh yeah, no, that's really icky. This is not okay. And, the video I did yesterday, it explains why I feel this way, why I think it's really wrong. And basically it just comes down to this, guys. I view Star Wars as a brand for families and children. I view Star Wars as a fairy tale. I view Star Wars as for young people, mythic, I don't even think like sex really belongs in Star Wars. Now, desire is one thing. Desire, I think, is in all forms of fantasy, but overt sexuality, no. I don't think that belongs in Star Wars, period, at all. And so Andor, I guess it's a TLDR here, kind of beating around the bush. Andor's about to introduce that thing, that sexual crime into Star Wars by a scene and then by explicitly mentioning it. So that's just now in Star Wars, right? And I have a problem with that. I think that's fucked up. Now, the thing that's weird about this is like I was already anti-Andor. I don't like Andor, you know, and you guys know that. It's a meme in the community because a lot of you guys love it. And I always acknowledged it's competently made, writing dialogue, shooting, editing, like all of the pieces are well crafted. The sum of its parts just isn't Star Wars to me. It's fundamentally missing the mark to me. And so I've always felt that way. I've been very critical about it. But yeah, a lot of people like Andor. So my thing is I try not to talk about it a lot. Of course, it gets brought up different conversations. I always try to like say, hey, man, you like Andor, it's all good. I'll state why I don't like it, but I don't like to do that toxic thing where I'm like, Daryl, you actually shouldn't like it, and here's why. But I will be real. I think this is so egregious that it deserves more than a passive stance. It deserves action and rebuke. You know, like I legitimately feel like this is such a gross thing that they're about to do and put into Star Wars. And hey, somebody help me out here. When's the premiere? Because everybody's going to see the premiere. You're all going to hear about it after the premiere. I mean, you're hearing about it now, but it's in the first couple of episodes. So I think you get to see 3 episodes at the premiere, and they're bringing a bunch of content creators and influencers to these premieres around the world. April 22nd. Wow. Okay, so we do have some time. Maybe if enough of an uproar happened, they would remove it, but I highly doubt it. The premiere's in like 3 weeks. All of these influencers and all these people are about to go witness this. When they go to see the premiere, they're going to see this, unless Disney takes it out. And I'm really curious to see how the response is from people. And it's one of those things where like, look, I'm going to keep it 100. I'll keep it a stack with you guys. It's an issue that personally triggers me. I have people very close to me in my life that have dealt with these actual issues. And so I get a little triggered and a little hot. And there've been a lot of people, even people in our own community, they probably mean well, but they're trying to justify this, or they're trying to justify the way it could be handled, etc. This, that, second, and third. And like, it's just one of those situations where I'm not really going to be able to see a lot of nuance here. And I'm trying to at least prevent myself from like forming a bad opinion of people that want to have that conversation or defend it. Because it's like, I can understand that. But at the end of the day, it does kind of seem like you're just defending Grape. And maybe that's, you know, maybe that's not really what's going on. But I just, I've been a little disgusted to watch people conflate maybe sexual mature ideas, themes, characters, sexually attractive characters, desire, you know, those things with Grape. It's totally different. You know what I mean? And so like, I unfortunately think there are some people out there, and I'm going to be fascinated to watch how this goes down. And I'm going to be fascinated to see how the different influencers and people, because there's a whole bunch of people that defend Andor to the death. And I'm really curious how those Andor people will take this. Are there any among the Andor faithful crowd that agree with me that feel like this is way too far and this is something that should not be in Star Wars? And that's pretty much it. Like, I don't really have a lot of nuance. I don't really have a lot of time to hear why you might not agree with it. This particular one, I'm pretty closed off. I think it's pretty fucked up. So, yesterday, because, dude, again, I had to take a moment. I had to like take a step back before I recorded the video. I prayed. You know what I mean? I don't talk about my faith a lot, but I prayed before I did that video. You know, real talk. That's how serious the entire situation is for me. I think it's really fucked up. At the same time, I'm not really engaged that much in Star Wars. I'm certainly not engaged in Andor. I've never really liked it. It's not like this is my favorite thing in Star Wars that they're about to do this to. So I'm trying to keep it as chill as I possibly can. while also feeling legitimately like this is sinister in some ways and a gross thing that gross people are trying to put into a family-friendly brand. So I hope, because it's kind of sucks that we have to kind of talk around the issue. Unfortunately, that is what it is. We have to talk around it. But I wanted to talk about it, and I wanted to bring it up. Again, you can watch the video. The video kind of explicitly explains what is going to happen in the show, why I think that's wrong. So you can go watch that video if you would like. But ultimately, I wonder if this will start to pick up this week. I wonder if people will start to talk about this. I know Star Wars Meg just did a video on it. And I was talking to her about it. I talked to a bunch of people about it yesterday. And so we'll see. We'll see what the fan base thinks. We'll see what ultimately happens. I mean, to me, I think it's, I mean, if I said how I felt about it, you guys would think I'm exaggerating. If I told you what I think should happen to people at Lucasfilm because of this, you'd think I was exaggerating. And that's fine, because it's clearly an issue so emotional to me that maybe I'm not rationally thinking it through. Maybe I can't quite consider all the angles or perspectives. I'm willing to accept that and hold firm in my, no, fuck this. Guess we'll just see. I mean, at the end of the day, is this just one more blemish on Kathleen Kennedy's Star Wars? Or is this something more? I guess the fans themselves will have to determine that. You know? I just heard about it and wanted to bring it up, wanted to stick my flag in the ground, and I wanted to allow people that feel the same way that I do to express that concern and potentially get it removed. I would like it removed. You know, that's my intention on doing the video. I put it in the video. I said it immediately. I want it to be removed. And I would be happy if it did. And if it doesn't, I mean, I wasn't going to watch that shit anyway. Damn sure not going to watch it now. I'll probably chime back in after the first 3 episodes. And it, you know, because it'll be a thing. People will talk about it. I'll chime back in on it. But it'll probably be one of those things where I'm like, hey, I already said what I said. That's how I feel. Let's kind of move on. But I guess maybe one final thing to say on this is Star Wars fans like myself, and frankly like Theory, get labeled and taken out of context often. And we're like, I think some people look at us or look at the opinions or whatever and don't quite get it. They're like, that feels like a stretch. It feels like there's this crazy animosity or whatever. It's because of things like this. I mean, this is maybe the worst one, but dude, there's multiple examples of things that not only have happened, but I know things that have happened that I haven't talked about. And so my opinion, it's like, you might not like my opinion about Kathy. You might not like my opinion about Star Wars, but it is not bad faith. This is an informed opinion. I have reasons for feeling how I feel. And I feel I'm really fucking mad about Kathy, Star Wars, all of it. So, things like this are partially why. So I just want to put that out there, you know. And again, it's a sensitive topic. I'm sure you guys have different feelings. And frankly, like, look, I'm really trying here. I don't know if it's coming across perfectly here. But what I'm trying to say to you is, like, man, I really don't have time for that shit. Like, if you want to try to, I don't have time for that shit. But I also am not trying to hold it against you. I don't think you're the problem. It's Kathy's problem. Kathy's the problem, like usual. So, yeah, I'm sure we'll get into it. We'll talk about it a little bit more. And we'll see if other people talk about it, too. Yeah, I'm hoping it gets some airtime and coverage out there. Okay, a couple other quick stories here, and then we'll break into Q&A, okay? Let's talk about Daredevil Born Again. Now, several weeks ago, numbers came out for Daredevil Born Again via a new company on the scene. I think it was Luminant. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it was Luminant. And they made the case that Daredevil Born Again viewership numbers were massively down and less than The Acolyte. Do you guys remember that? We did a bunch of segments about it, talked about it on stream. Less viewers than Acolyte? That shit just got canceled. That doesn't seem right. Well, we finally got Nielsen's numbers. And guess what? Those numbers were right. This is crazy. So, Daredevil Born Again could not chart in the originals or the overall. And in 10th place on the originals chart was Invincible. This was the second to the last episode, the Invincible War episode. So good. And it had 488 million minutes watched total. And Daredevil must have done less than that to not chart at all. Holy shit, guys. So remember when those first numbers came out and a bunch of people were like, I don't know, we'll have to wait for Nielsen. Well, we did, and they were real. This show did less than half of what Loki season 1 did and Ahsoka did. This show did not even premiere to the tune of Acolyte, which just got canceled. Like, guys, Marvel should be in full-on panic mode. This is crazy. And by the way, too, one of my biggest L's ever, I thought Daredevil was going to be great. I thought Daredevil was going to crush. I thought it was going to be the biggest show on Disney+. And it's literally one of the lowest shows. It's one of the worst performing shows on Disney+. And by the way, it's pretty fucking bad, dude. It's not a good show. By any, I cannot believe how bad it is, frankly. I've already made my piece. I talked a lot of shit on it. Next 2 episodes will hopefully be better. But the point is, my God, Marvel. Huge L. Y'all need to change shit up. Y'all need to change shit up. Disney Plus content is not, it is hurting so bad. And this was, frankly, one of your best chances to show us, the audience, that you could get it figured out, that you could change, and that you could take a bad version of show and make it better. And you didn't. So I just want to put that out there because it's absolutely crazy. So maybe we'll get some questions about that in Q&A. And then the last thing I want to talk about was the Thunderbolts, baby. So the Thunderbolts just had its, I guess you would say maybe the final trailer. This was a trailer dropped today, technically late last night in some international markets. And it's all to drum up excitement and hype because tickets officially go on sale for the Thunderbolts today. First question for you in the chat. Did you get tickets? Did you get tickets? Put a 1 into the chat. And somebody fix my hair. Did you guys get tickets to the Thunderbolts yet? Throw a 1 into the chat. I want to know. Wait, what? Nobody? What the hell? Yeah, me neither. I mean, I'm going to see it, but no rush. You know, I'm not going to get the tickets right now. Anyway, this movie, and if you look at this final trailer here, man, this, remember how Jeff said a couple of weeks ago Marvel didn't know how to sell this thing? And we've commentated on that over the past couple of weeks. Really feels that way. Because the most recent trailer, this final one, is like super MCU, super heroic, totally different tone than like the A24 slapstick stuff that we had late last year. And I'm just so confused. I actually have a big video coming out. It's probably going to drop tomorrow at this point. And the video explains how Marvel's best movie in years might bomb just like all of their other shit has been. And what that would mean for Marvel, because there's a few takeaways and a few really important things that Marvel needs to realize if that happens. And so, like always, we're staring down the barrel of another Marvel movie. How many Marvel movies have we seen together in this community? A lot. Staring down the barrel of another Marvel movie. And this one seems really good. I thought the trailer was great, actually. And I'm very excited to see it. And yet, there seems to be a real chance that this movie underperforms as well. And that means we're going to have to get more Minecraft slop. The Minecraft CU, Deadpool and Wolverine chicken jockeys coming to a theater near you. Everything is fucked. And that concludes your show. Now let's get into Q&A. Let's see what all of you have to say about all of these different crazy things, chat. A lot of stuff going on out there in the world. I want to know what you think about it. All right, first in today was Javier Mendez with a 10 spot. I appreciate that, brother. Black Swan from the Cabal in Jonathan Hickman's New Avengers is a baddie. She sure is, man. She sure is. I hope they do some Black Swan, but also, like, I mean, at this point, there's just so much they have to do. It's hard to imagine them getting all of the stuff from those comics into these movies, but we'll see. And Joshua says, top of the week to you, bro. Your vid yesterday has me pissed. Not at you, obviously. Fuck KK. Nerd Vengeance for life. Star Wars is cooked outside of Ahsoka Season 2 and Filoni movie. Yeah, so for me, man, it's like, I mean, I just can't think of a more... I mean, you guys know, I've been beating the drum of anti-Andor for years. And I feel completely validated, dude. And to be real with you, I'm going to be completely real. I think some motherfuckers are not going to make a big deal out of this because they like Andor so much. And they've dug their heels in so much on being positive on Andor that they're going to do mental gymnastics like Damian fucking Wayne or something. Or I guess it'd be Dick Grayson. But they're going to do all these mental gymnastics to justify it because they like Andor and they think Star Wars should be more mature. And I can't even blame them. However, that exact thing is the reason I don't like the show. It's the reason that I scolded and wagged the finger at Lucasfilm for creating it. It's like you open up a burger joint, and then all of a sudden you start making Belgian waffles. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, you can't do it. And then all of a sudden people will be like, I think this should be a Belgian waffle restaurant. I love it. And you know what I love on my Belgian waffles? Grapes. So it just validates everything I've been thinking about, everything I've been talking about. Fuck Andor, fuck Tony Gilroy. I can't believe they made this show. I think it's terrible. I think it's terrible for Star Wars. And if they actually do this, it's going to be terrible for the brand of the franchise. Thank you, Joshua. T Skywalk with a 5 spot says, all the Snyder bros told me Warner Brothers is dead and Minecraft is going to flop. Well, so did a lot of people. I believe Critical Drinker said it looked terrible and was going to fail. A lot of people, because I've seen the tweets, a lot of people's tweets that were talking shit on Minecraft are now being retweeted by, checks notes, 24 and under crowd. So, yeah, a lot of people got this one wrong. I wasn't really paying attention, so I didn't really call any shots on this. But, yeah, this really surprised a lot of people, okay? Zach says with a 10 spot, appreciate you, brother, says, happy Monday, brother. I am just as disgusted with the Star Wars rumor as you are. I feel like KK has tarnished my childhood, and I think it's a slap in the face to true fans of what George built. Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. I mean, that's exactly what it is. Feels gross. It feels sinister, man. I don't like when something sacred, because to me, Star Wars was sacred. It was mythological. The Force is specifically there to be like religious. George was talking about this before. Like it's modern mythology, sacred, resonant, and then to like bring in these things, try to pick it apart, try to change what it is. Like all of that feels gross to me. You know, postmodernism does not belong in Star Wars, in my opinion. Deconstruction, perhaps to a degree, but even then, like, not really. Like, Star Wars is mythic fairy tales. So that's how I've felt about it. I continue to feel that way. Yeah, and I think this really just puts it on the line for people, you know? And by the way, you don't have to agree with me. Like, there's some, because I talked to a bunch of Star Wars fans about this yesterday, some really big accounts, really big names, they don't agree with me on this. And that's okay. I'm not like the law when it comes to Star Wars, and Star Wars fans are a very eclectic group. I mean, a lot of people don't like the prequels. A lot of people don't like the sequels. There's some people that are hardcore to the EU and don't like any of the new stuff. A lot of tribalism and different opinions in Star Wars. Some people don't even like George. There's Star Wars fans that don't even like George Lucas. And so I might say to those Star Wars fans, George said it's a fairy tale. And they'll be like, fuck George Lucas. Jar Jar Binks sucks. You know? And that's all well and good. It's all fair play to everybody. But at the same time, I am who I am. And so I'm going to say into this microphone what I feel, what I believe, and I bet there's some people that agree with it. Yeah, best I can do. Zach, thanks for a gifted membership. Rossi, thank you for the rose. Zach Attack with a 5-spot says, I hope someone throws a bucket of paint on KK at Star Wars Celebration. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, why don't we just get her out of there? You know, why doesn't she go off into the sunset and enjoy the twilight years of her life? You know, I don't want to do anything crazy like that. Cool Bear with a 5-spot says, Minecraft was so boring, I pulled out my phone and streamed it to the Discord. Don't arrest me. FBI, we got him. We got him. That's wild. Did you like it, dude? Did you like it? I'm like kind of interested in it. Hey, how about this? Let me ask the chat something. How many of you are now interested in Minecraft? Like you weren't interested, but now you are a little bit, at least a little bit interested in checking it out. Throw a 1 into the chat. Because to me, that's what it is. It's like, oh my God, everybody's seeing this thing? Really? Interesting. Okay, Kaz says, I brought my little brother to see Minecraft movie, and it had more heart than Quantum Mania and Brave New World. I believe that. But that's also not a high bar, brother. You know what I mean? Like, but I appreciate you. Shub says, I mean, I am not surprised since Minecraft is incredibly big, but I am surprised it made this much money so quickly. Yeah, this surprised a lot of people, man. You know? This surprised a lot of people. It's a phenomenon. Jonathan Staten says, no joke, not hyperbole. People were booing the Superman trailer because they just want to get to the Minecraft movie in a packed theater on Friday. What? I mean, look, we're joking around. We're being funny today. You know what I mean? Don't take anything that I say too seriously, but also, I was dead on. Worst generation ever. Fuck, dude. Are you serious? Are you serious? Click Clack says, if TikTok brain rot the movie, and I hate it. 18, by the way. Well, there you go. There you go, brother. See, there's some good ones in your generation still. Can't believe it. In the Pit says with a $10 holla, says, Josh, the end is near. I got to recommend you the show The Studio on HBO with Seth Rogen. Incredibly funny. Commentary revolving around the current state of Hollywood. A good break from all this BS. We were thinking about starting that. It looks kind of fun, man. Looks kind of fun. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the 10. Moose 18 says, I fell asleep for 30 minutes during Minecraft. LOL. Movie wasn't horrible, but the story was lacking. Bro, that's so, I don't know. Again, you guys know where I'm at with this, but like even the idea of critiquing the story, like I almost can't get the words out without geeking out and snickering. To critique the story of the Minecraft movie. It feels like doing some kind of sampling for like a Lunchable or some shit. It's like it doesn't seem like those things should go together. Sky Guys Production says, all right, Unc, settle down. Go back to the retirement home. LMAO, chicken jockey for life. Yeah, you see, this 24 and under. Appreciate you, bro. Jeremiah says, hey, Josh, I'm pretty sure Minecraft is the best-selling video game of all time. Could be wrong, though. Super excited for RDJ Doom, Nerve Avengers for Life, Unity, much love. Is it the biggest selling game of all time? I thought that would have been like Pokemon or something. But I mean, Minecraft is obviously huge. I'm not debating that. I know a lot of people play Minecraft. Yeah, jeez. Sheesh. Zach Tack says, seeing that look for Doom just felt like I dragged my balls across sandpaper. I don't understand. Are you into it? Are you not into it? I need more context. C-Dub says, got my tickets to Thunderbolts. My theater is already sold out for the first show. Whoa, nice, dude. That's good to hear. I would love for this movie to be very successful. I think this movie's going to be very good. We've talked about that a bit. And, man, I'm all for it doing some big numbers. That'd be great. That'd be great. Rossi says with a 10 spot, Ben and Noah, especially Noah, tried to get me to watch Minecraft. I said, hell no. It looks like slop. If I saw the movie in theaters, I'd probably cause bodily harm to myself and others. Oh, man. See, like, I totally get that energy, man. I've dialed it back a little bit because I'm dad and I have to be chill in front of the kids. I'm talking about you guys, not my kids. But, so I've dialed it back a little bit, but that was kind of the energy I had. A Sunday morning, I woke up, man. I woke up early to hate on Minecraft. I was excited. The day went a different way, and I've decided to be a little more chill about it because, you know, go figure, a bunch of the Chronic Online people that occupy our Discord just happen to love Minecraft. I probably should have anticipated that. CTMZ, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships, brother. That is very kind. And then you followed up with a 10 spot and says, be blessed. Always a blessing to see you in the chat, man. Appreciate you. Joshua says, no matter what they do with Doom, we're still watching. I mean, you're not wrong, brother. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I mean, don't do this, though. You know what I mean? Like, you're not wrong. Don't do this, though. Jonathan says, been showing my girlfriend Star Wars for the first time. We're going to start Andor soon, but I'm skipping it because I'll bring up too many bad memories for her. Yeah, and I think, you know what? Look, let me just touch on that for a second, okay? Do you know why they put a trigger warning on certain pieces of content? Like, I know you probably know why, but it's useful to articulate why. Do you know why they do that? It reminds me of when Saving Private Ryan was coming out, and Spielberg invited a bunch of vets that actually stormed Normandy to the premiere. And a lot of them had to leave and walk out of the theater. Because when you have trauma and you experience something similar to your trauma and you get triggered, it's a visceral feeling. It affects your nervous system. It's not like oh man, I'm really having a bad time. No, like you physically go back to the place of that trauma. So it's so bad that for some people that have such explicit trauma, they literally avoid those things. That's what the trigger warning is, okay? And if you really consider what that means, I think it just leads you to a place of understanding that that should not be in Star Wars. Those ideas and concepts, those things do not work together, in my opinion. So, yeah, Jonathan, totally agree. Sky Guys Production says, yeah, add the berries in the Star Wars. Oh, grapes in Star Wars is gross. I agree. This is sad. I think it's funny, though, how we've all mentally accepted Luke and Leia kissing and slave Leia. Yeah, but again, those are different. I mean, you know, because I saw a lot of people, and I'm not saying you're doing this, but a lot of people had that attitude of like, what about Twi'leks? What about slave Leia? And I'm like, look, I'm talking about overt sexuality and really crazy sexual crimes versus attractive looking women. Like desire and implied usage of desire, whatever, totally different than grape. Also totally different than express sexuality. And the idea of like conflating those things, it just feels so disingenuous. It feels so bad faith to be like, what about cleavage? We're talking about grape, dude. What about slave Leia? Grape. What are you talking about? Lou says, as a dad, Star Wars is losing its innocent is a big deal. Oh, yeah. No, it's gone. It's gone. Let's see here. Patrick Wire says, I get the whole Star Wars is for kids thing, and George had said it, but odd he said it while also making a dark, organized crime Star Wars series. So I'll say it again. Ridiculous. And again, I really said to myself I was not going to get upset about these particular things because I understand the inclination to question or to be pedantic. I mean, look, some of you guys are just contrarians and you're just built that way. And so you're going to approach this as you approach everything as a contrarian. I am going to be super mature about this and not conflate your contrarianism to supporting grape. But I would say that you're picking a really weird hill to be contrarian on, and I would urge you to stop. Now, with regards to this exact point, I'll break it down because I thought about this. He's talking about 1313, okay? And 1313 is or was a show that George commissioned 60 plus scripts for. was fairly close to producing this show. And from what we've heard, and a story broke, I think, within the past couple of months, where somebody that was involved in the project had come forward to describe it in a mature way, say that it was sexy, all of these different things. And my first point is, like, just don't conflate Grape with a more edgy version of Star Wars. Andor Season 1 starts in a whorehouse. I already thought that was too far, but it's not the same thing as Grape. Okay, so again, stop dying on that hill. But to throw you a fair bone and to sort of steel man your argument, I think it's possible George had played around with the idea of pushing that envelope in a certain direction with certain things. But you and I do not know how that actually looked like. And all I know for sure is what I know from not only following Star Wars for all of my adult life, studying Star Wars the way that I do, actually talking to Dave Filoni about Star Wars, actually watching in person George Lucas talk about Star Wars. There's no paragraph or sentence or super chat that is going to get me to change the way I think about this. And no amount of like, oh, but this show that never happened that we don't really know what it was is going to get me to say, well, I guess all the other times on record that George said this, that, second, and the third don't count. Right? So that's like the most polite version of my response to that question. Dato, I don't know what your name is, but welcome to the Nerdvengers. You are a Nerdvenger now. Vandolph the Black says, with a $20 holla, now that ain't cheap. Says, I highly recommend checking out Nigel L's radio drama edit for Star Wars. It was a broadcast simultaneously with Star Wars, the best illustrates Star Wars for the family, and it holds up still and is earnest. I like that. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. And maybe I will. You know, it's funny, when we were deep diving on Superman, because we will do deep dives on different things with the community, and we did a deep dive on Superman last year, and I was fascinated to learn how big of a deal the Superman radio dramas were to Superman and the mythology. In fact, I think Kryptonite, I don't know if it was Kryptonite, but there's one like really big part of Superman's mythology that came from the audio dramas that were on the radio. And for a lot of people, so it must have been in the 50s, maybe the 60s, for a lot of people back then, that was how they enjoyed Superman, the radio drama. So it is kind of interesting to think about how these different franchises have had that. So maybe I'll check out that Star Wars one. I appreciate you, Vandal. Braden says, with a $20 holla here, I don't mean to offend anyone here, but I am genuinely concerned about the amount of people loving Minecraft. Is it legit terrible Marvel-esque slop? If we support that trash, other studios will get the wrong ideas. Here's the thing, though, Braden. I understand your thought process, and like I said, I was kind of there yesterday. But the truth is it really so much that the studios will get the wrong idea, or is it maybe the case that the studios will get exactly the correct idea, and you and I just might not like it? You know? And then it's like, I mean, what does that mean for the industry? Where will we go from here? I'm not really sure. I share your concerns, and yet, I mean, dude, the demos on this movie are ridiculous, and that younger demo will dominate the marketplace in the next couple of years. So this is meaningful, it is important, and they have to analyze it. And maybe it means slop for days. I guess we'll just see. Zack Attack says, if Andor flops, is there a chance KK gets fired? No, man, she's immortal. Elijah says, this whole situation is messed up. Popular belief is KK can't be fired because she knows where the bodies are buried. Now she's inserting a Burnett saying, they tried to grape me. It all makes sense. Yep. There's all sorts of ways you could think about this in some really weird ways. Self-insert. I mean, dude, there's aspects of this that are so heinous that I don't even want to speak about it, right? So, I mean, we talked a little bit on the Discord, but like, you ask yourself why they would do this, right? And there's like good faith steelman reasons. You know, maybe they want to go for Game of Thrones vibe. They're trying to be controversial. Maybe they think it's an important topic. You know, those are all like the good versions, right? Well, you take just one step out of the good versions of why they would do this, and you start to encounter some really dark explanations. I'm not even going to say them. And I don't know that they're real. I just feel as though it's a part of the reason why it's a mistake to do this, ultimately. Because those questions are not good questions. They don't lead you to fun things. Chris says, 54 beautiful months of good old-fashioned nerd vengeance. Goddamn, that's a long time, brother. Thank you. So grateful to be here with y'all. Much love to the community. Knight me, wrench me, have a bureau, spin again, and call Rob. Appreciate you, Chris. You are a nerd venger now, finally, after 54 months. That's a long time, brother. Cool Bear says with a 5-spot, got Thunderbolt tickets as soon as they dropped, and half of the seats were already gone for the first show and can't wait. Why'd you put ass in there? Cool Bear, I got Thunderbolt tickets as soon as they dropped. Come on, man. Appreciate you, though. It does look good, man. I'm really excited for it, too. Joshua says, Minecraft could drop off in a second weekend. Yeah, we'll see. I don't think it's going to crush the same way some other movies have, but still... Holy man, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Paradise says, just want to commend you for handling the willful ignorance better than I would. You know, it's like Toby Spider-Man said in No Way Home. Trying to do better. That's it. Kaz says, Josh, got a question for you. As a George Lucas / Star Wars historian, if we're head of Lucasfilm, what would you do to combat the general lack of interest in Star Wars? Star Wars needs to find a way to be what it is with a fresh coat of paint. Meaning the concept of putting a new twist on an old lemon. You don't throw the lemon out. You don't turn it into a lime. You don't put grapes into the lemon. The lemon worked. People liked the lemon. Put a new twist on it. That's all. That's like the TLDR version of it. Yeah. Thank you, man. Scott says, can't wait for Doom's last words to be chicken jockey. I'm out. We're going to call it there. Much love. Appreciate you. No, I'm just playing. The Exodus says, Kathleen Kennedy comes off after so many L's like she's making an effort to sabotage the operation within Lucasfilm. She can't be this clueless. I think she is. This clueless. I mean, at some level, it has to be the people above her. We have to blame these people at Disney. Like, they're letting her just be. Sky Guys Production with a 10-spot says, in all seriousness, I'll speak for my young peers. They all acknowledge that it's bad, but fun. I wouldn't take it too seriously. What I'll say is that it's experience above story, something films lack today. Totally fair. That's a fair way to say it. And I think Marvel should try to replicate that. I mean, I don't know if it needs to be, you know, I don't know that we need to walk away and be like, it's not bad. And we all acknowledge that. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it could be fine. Maybe it could be good. But yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, bro. It's all good, man. You know, I'm just kind of joshing you a little bit here, too. I got to poke the buttons. I got to, you know. The Machete Order with a $20 holla. That's very generous, man. That ain't cheap. Says, this is what I believe is going on with KK. George Lucas publicly backed Bob Iger in his proxy war. Why? I think Iger cut a deal with Lucas to bring him back and simultaneously cut a deal with Gina, avoiding discovery. I mean, I highly doubt that. That frankly feels like a fantasy to me. But it would be cool. I mean, I'm not going to say it's a bad fantasy. That's a good fantasy. You're telling me George Lucas is coming back for Star Wars? Fuck yeah, man. I'm all about it. Cutting a deal with Gina, I think Gina was done wrong, man. I mean, you know, I know that's a hot button topic and everybody's got opinions. You know, your mileage may vary, but ultimately, I think there was an injustice there. You know, so yeah, appreciate you. Optimus Prime Rib says, good morning. I want to see more characters die in Thunderbolts than a 5-hour stream removing chairs. That would be funny, huh? The chairs get removed. Like, what if that's the post-credit scene? Is we watch Thunderbolts, a lot of them die, and the post-credit scene is Feige walking by and kicking out all of the chairs of the people that died. That'd be kind of cool. Jonathan Staten says zombie chicken. Oh, geez. C Black says Chris Gore said people are worried about the DCU after the Superman trailer played at CinemaCon. Also, did you see the new leaked images of the Doomsday set? Appear to be on the Fantastic Four Earth. Yes, I did see those. I'm looking into it. I don't have any comments right now. As far as Superman, I'll say, let me tell you what's going on with Superman. It's so weird, man. It feels like, and also, I mean, I love y'all. You guys are so nice, but also, like, you know, we don't got to do any more super chats. I'm just throwing it out there. We don't got to do any more super chats. It's up to you, though. Let me talk about Superman. Like everything else in the world, this shit is weird. I find myself flipping on this thing right at a moment when everybody else is flipping the other way. I was truly wowed by that trailer. I'm on board. And I did try to acknowledge this when I reported on it. That didn't happen to the audience. It just happened to me. Unfortunately, it does seem like a lot of people are not jiving with Superman. And I think some of the CinemaCon reactions have DC really worried. And yeah, I mean, I think, look, it's Guardians of the Galaxy Superman. I fucking told you, it is what it is. I don't love it, but the movie seems earnest. The movie seems like maybe what we need right now. I'm starting to like it. But I do have to tell you, the reality is, if I were James Gunn, if I were DC, I would not be feeling great. It's clear that a lot of people don't like what they cooked. We'll see, though. I mean, fuck, Minecraft just made $300 million. You're telling me Guardians of the Galaxy Superman can't make money? Like, we'll see what happens. But, yeah, I mean, Superman is potentially still in trouble. I just happen to like it now, so, yeah, we'll see what happens. Let's see here. Getting called the worst generation in the first 5 minutes is crazy. Like Jack Black greater than Captain America 4 is a bad take. All right, fine. Whatever. Fine. I'll give that one to you. Darboy with a 10 says, fruit crime is real life evil, not dark. Something being dark doesn't mean it's not kids' entertainment. Villains are dark by default. Conflating a dark story with a story about real life evil is crazy. And I just think, too, there's like certain things that shouldn't be in a fairy tale. You know what I mean? Like, that's really what it is. But I'm not, I mean, totally, bro. Like, and maybe there's still people like arguing about it in chat or whatever. I am really not that interested in having a conversation about something that, like, I know in my bones is too far. Right? So, like, I'm just going to keep making my point and also try to be chill. It doesn't mean I have to say anyone that disagrees with me is horrible or evil or bad. There's good faith people that don't agree. But I'm not interested in, like, this isn't a up for debate thing to me, you know? John Cross says, 12 Avengers unite. Awesome. Jonathan says, with a 10, that's super generous, man, says superhero movies and Star Wars should be made to help people forget about the crap that happens IRL, not bring it to the forefront, potentially losing fans forever. Yeah, that's a very good point. And I think this is a bridge way too far. And we'll see what the reaction will be. Lou says Minecraft was goofy, but it had heart. My kids liked it, but the teens were screaming at each other over the game references. It is the young generation's Avengers. I know, and that's why I hate it. Lou, no, it's all good, bro. I appreciate the support. I appreciate you chiming in to give us some perspective. So thank you, man. Zach Tack says, Fortnite movie on the way at this point. Yeah, probably, right? At this point, you'd have to say, yeah, do the Fortnite movie. You'd almost be silly not to do the Fortnite movie, right? But, yeah, so let's kick it for like 10 more minutes, man. What else is on your mind, guys? Any other thoughts, comments, concerns, anything you're looking forward to the week? Anybody out there building their Warhammer armies? Did you guys get your armies built yet? I got to get my hair cut, for real, for real. Look at this hair, man. This curly hair. When you have curly hair, after it gets to a certain length, that shit is just wild. what are the odds we could do some call-ins during the member stream this week? Nah, I can't do it. Sorry. How much do you want Battleworld to be a Fortnite map with the evil Avengers bosses in the different areas? I'm good with multiple interpretations of Battleworld. I'm not against that interpretation. I think that could be fun. Maybe it's simpler for all the stories to fit together that way. But I kind of love Battle Worlds, like an actual mutant planet, an actual World War Hulk planet. Like, that feels really cool to me. But I wouldn't be mad if it was just like a Fortnite map or whatever. That'd be all right. Every movie is a Fortnite movie. Yeah, I guess that's fair. Tau incoming? Hell yeah. Thoughts on my Tyranids? Leaning on them for an army. The Tyranids are cool, man. I mean, they're like eldritch horror, mutating insect-like things. Swarm armies. They're really fun to fight against. I was in the Warhammer shop the other day, and I was telling them, I was like, dude, I love fighting against Tyranids. They're one of the most fun armies to fight because there's like 1 million of them on the board. You're constantly fighting and killing things. So Tyranids are cool. Hell yeah. Death Guard is more horror. Death Guard can be horror. Drukari can be horror. I mean, honestly, everything in Warhammer's pretty horrific. What about the Mr. Negative leak? Well, I don't know that leak is real. I mean, I'm sure they are casting that person, but I don't know. Didn't Daniel just say the villain was a female like 2 weeks ago? So I'm not. We'll see if it amounts to anything. I try to like pick and choose my leaks and rumors, and I'm like, oh, that's really important. This, not so much, but. Okay, Noah, sorry, let me go back and find it to you. Noah. Our theater was packed and loud AF. Last time I felt that energy was No Way Home. While the markets crash, Chicken Jockey winning. Much love. Yeah, that's kind of funny. Look, I saw the videos, man. I could tell there was real energy, man. That's wild. So, I guess whatever it takes, huh? What are your thoughts on Mortal Kombat 2 casting Carl Urban as Johnny Cage? I think it's cool. I like him as Johnny Cage. I think that's great. It's all about the red thirst. Seriously, though, Blood Angels is my first army. Having fun painting them. Oh, that's great. Yeah, the Blood Angels are awesome. The red thirst is such a cool concept. Yeah, man. Do you have a Sanguinor model? Because the Sanguinor, the Sanguinary Guard, and then Dante are like some of the really nice pieces and units, and they just seem so cool. Dante is awesome. The lore around Dante is great too. So, yeah, it's a good army. Yeah, so I did Outdoor Nerd. Yeah, she's into the Stormlight stuff. I actually read Way of Kings like a decade ago, and I actually did tell her a lot about Way of Kings, but then, she kind of had to find her own way into it. She started listening to, she's actually started writing a novel, and then she started listening to Brandon Sanderson's lectures. Then she started listening to his podcast. Then she dug into his books. So she's way ahead of me in the Stormlight books now. But yeah, I mean, look, I'm into the second book of the Eisenhorn series. I'm reading so much Warhammer right now. I don't have time to jump back into any Sanderson. But maybe someday. Maybe someday. Guys Production says, I think Andor fans disassociate Andor from Star Wars, therefore Grape is okay. Literally the same thing as saying Andor isn't Star Wars. More supers on the way, by the way. What? I mean, hey, well, you didn't have to have that last part. But, yeah, I think that's fair, man. But isn't it also fair that, like, I kind of don't, like, even though I don't think it's Star Wars, Andor is going to have posters in Japan at Celebration. Like, children are going to walk past Andor posters. Disneyland has Andor shit. So, like, I don't know. I understand what you're saying. And for some fans, that is probably exactly their thought process. But, Yeah, for me, nah. So it's still gonna be a nah. Noah's last super was definitely a no. Brother, that is one of the worst dad jokes I've ever heard. That's a dad joke that makes me think maybe I shouldn't do dad jokes, but all right, appreciate you. No, I have not. Okay, cool. Can you send me a link to that, Mott's Applesauce? Send me a link to that, like on Discord or Twitter. I would. I'm not gonna remember, so if you link me it, I'll check it out. If you link it to me, I'll check it out. Yeah. I'll say it again. How are you going to have a movie about a square world and choose the most round cast possible? Just a plot hole. Not bad. Not bad, Justin. Not bad. I mean, kids these days know about gray, but it's still not cool. Yeah. Again, it's just not the place for it. You know? I mean, it's bordering on that should be the parents should talk to that, talk about that with the kid. Like that's a household thing. You know what I mean? What ongoing comic series are you reading right now? Well, I'm way behind on my comics, but I started the Ultimate Batman. I started Ultimate Superman. I've read like 5 or 6 issues of the new Ultimates with Denise Camp, one of the best new comic book writers out. Obviously, Jonathan Hickman's Ultimate Spider-Man, I've loved. I'm reading a little bit of the new X-Men stuff, although frankly I only gave like 3 or 4 of them a try, and it's just very bland. You know, it's not bad, it's just bland. Yeah. So those are the ones right now. You mess with Warhammer TV? Oh yeah, man, I've watched a bunch of those, and I think that if you look at Warhammer TV and you notice how the story group has done a lot better, and how the animations are a lot better. Like the last 3 to 4 years, the quality, boop, 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 boop. And I think that's great because they have assets, models, and things that work in high fidelity graphic animation. And that's only a couple of steps removed from full on photorealistic CGI. So what I'm saying there is like, there's a foundation potentially being built with assets and models in the digital sense that could really help even the show, the live action stuff. So yeah, man, I follow all that stuff really closely. I mean, some of y'all know, but I mean, Warhammer's my favorite thing. You know, like I'll always loved Marvel, and of course, the MCU's been really good to me. And I love Star Wars, what it used to be, you know, but Warhammer's my number one thing. Like, without a doubt, my number one thing. I like it more. I have more fun. I feel like I'm treated more fairly by that company, other than the fact, I mean, GW frankly does have a lot of problems. They're not perfect, but there are certain things like the lore and the faithfulness that I think GW does better than a lot of other people. Josh, man, you look tired. Well, it's funny. Nobody else mentioned that, but yeah, I am tired. I did not actually sleep very well last night, and my hair needs cut, so I am a little tired. Oh, yeah, I love the Green Lantern. I think the Green Lantern is like such a cool idea, such a cool concept. It used to be one of my favorite things as a kid to read the Green Lantern. Yo. Oh, yeah, Chuck, you're not wrong there, brother. You're not wrong there. Dude, Frex, I'm trying to get a box. I'm trying to get a box of Tarkir, actually. The Dragonstorm? Yeah. I'm trying to get a box. Maybe I'll go out and get a box today. But yeah, that looks really fun. I'm really excited for the Marvel MTG stuff. When does the Spider-Man set drop, Frex? Let me know. Okay, everybody. I really appreciate everybody. Thank you so much for all of your questions, your comments, for all the feedback. The Winter Shoulder says, with Death, Adam Warlock, Pip the Troll, and Annihilation a possible idea, is it plausible for Thanos to come back? Yeah, I think Thanos is going to come back. The question is, will Thanos remain a persistent part of the universe? I'm not sure about that, but I think he's back for the next 2 Avengers movies, frankly. But all right, everybody. Hey, much love, man. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. And as I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. John Cross, you don't say that shit to me. I think it was 9 wins in 5 hours. So shut your mouth. Sorry about that. Super wasn't clear. I wasn't in the mindset. Andor fans that disassociate Andor from Star Wars proves your point that Andor isn't Star Wars. Hell yeah. No, it really does though. I mean, I'm not right all the time, you know what I mean? But I kind of feel like I called that. I feel like I clocked Andor for exactly what it was, way ahead of everybody else. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I just was proven to be right because they fucked it all up. We'll see. We'll see. Not sure. Anyway, did I watch the Mission Impossible trailer? It was sick, dude. I love that Mission Impossible trailer. I thought that was great. And I love the last movie. Y'all didn't go see it. It underperformed. But that last Mission Impossible movie was just like all the Mission Impossible movies. Fantastic. Entertaining. A great ride. So yeah, it was really good. Anyway, is everybody gone? How come there's still like over 800 of you here? What the fuck? Did everybody leave? Oh, man. Hey, look, I appreciate you guys. It's a privilege to do this show. It's a privilege to have this life. I take it very seriously, but also I appreciate you guys. So thank you. And sorry if it's a little weird when I talk about the Andor thing. It's just really personal, and I'm trying to be professional about it while also trying to stay true to how I feel. The people that respect me, and I'm talking about even other big YouTubers that I've talked about, a lot of them understand that, like, they might not agree, but they know I'm not bad faith, and they're like, I get it, man. You know, you feel that way, do you? You know, and that's a nice place to be at. Now, you can't have that with everybody. There will be people that just don't know me like that, and they're gonna make their own version of it. But I can't control that. I can only control what I can control, you know. But I'd like to believe that throughout the years of handling other sensitive topics with care and nuance, I've earned somewhat of a reputation for being able to do that. And that's probably where that, it's probably where people get the whole concept of me being good faith from. So it's all good. You know what I mean? It's all good. Just got to do what we got to do. But anyway, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. As I always say, open up that third eye, man. And watch out. That stinky butthole. I'll see you later.